Your person talked about you today with their brother and you won't believe what he said. You will never. Archangel Michael says, the air today carried a whisper that wasn't meant for your ears, yet heaven allowed it to reach you. A conversation happened, quietly, between your person and their brother, and your name was the center of every word. What was said will not only shock you, it will change how you see love, trust, and destiny itself. They didn't speak like two people gossiping. They spoke like two souls holding back something divine, something that has been hidden for far too long. Your person's voice trembled slightly when your name slipped through his lips, as if saying it summoned memories that burned behind his calm eyes. His brother noticed it instantly, and that's when the truth started to unfold. In that moment, even the silence carried emotion. He said your name like someone praying under his breath, like a word too sacred to speak loudly. He confessed that he had tried to move on, but something, or someone, kept pulling him back toward you, no matter how far he ran. Then his brother asked, "Why are you still holding on?" And the answer was everything you never imagined to hear. He said, "Because I've never felt peace since she walked away." Type Amen to get blessing 333. He continued, almost whispering, "Every person I met after her only reminded me that love isn't supposed to be that complicated, but with her, it was real. It was raw. It made me alive." His brother sat there quietly, realizing the weight of what had just been confessed. That wasn't a random statement, that was a confession from the depths of a restless soul. The universe went still for a few seconds. Even his phone, lying beside him, lit up for no reason, as though the heavens acknowledged the moment. He stared at your photo, the one he thought no one knew he still kept, hidden in a private folder named with only a single symbol. That photo wasn't just a memory. It was his reminder of what true connection feels like. He told his brother that he dreams of you often, but not the usual way. In those dreams, he sees you walking away in slow motion, yet turning around right before fading, as if the universe teases him with a love that isn't done. His brother told him to forget, but he smiled painfully and said, "You can't forget something that feels written into your soul." That's when the air grew heavier. The brother realized this wasn't about attachment, this was divine timing playing out behind the scenes. Type Amen to get blessing 444. He said he senses your energy, especially during nights when his thoughts run too loud. He said sometimes he hears your name in random songs, sees it in places it shouldn't appear, or smells your perfume when no one is there. He called it madness, but his brother said softly, "That's not madness, that's connection." Then came the part that changed everything. He revealed that he recently saw your name appear in his phone in a missed call notification, but it disappeared before he could open it. It wasn't you, but the timing matched perfectly with a prayer he made moments earlier, asking for a sign. That was heaven's reply. That was Archangel Michael's hand guiding energy between two hearts not yet done. He told his brother, "I know she feels me too, because when I'm at my lowest, I dream of her smiling, as if she's sending light across the distance." The brother stayed silent for a long while, then said, "Maybe it's time to reach out." But he shook his head, "No, if it's meant, she'll find me without me trying." Type Amen to get blessing 555. He didn't know the truth, that you've also been feeling those strange surges lately. The sudden warmth in your chest, the random urge to look at your phone, the sudden thought of his name at the exact time he was thinking of you. Those are not coincidences, those are divine echoes. Archangel Michael says this. Love that carries purpose cannot be buried by time or distance. Even when you think it's over, heaven rewrites the script in secret. Your person's words today were not casual, they were a signal. The kind of signal that shakes timelines and reopens old portals of destiny. Right now, as you read this, something is aligning between you both. A wave of realization is about to sweep through your person's heart, forcing him to see that love is not meant to be hidden behind pride or silence. His brother's reaction today was the first step toward divine intervention, because now, the truth has witnesses. You will notice something strange tonight. A random message. A familiar ringtone. A memory triggered by a scent. Don't ignore it, that's your confirmation. Type Amen to get blessing 666. He told his brother that he still talks to your picture before going to sleep. He whispers apologies to the wind, hoping somehow your heart catches them in the night air. He even said, if I could have one more day, I'd tell her everything I was too afraid to say. The brother felt the heaviness of those words. He could see the pain, but also the love that still burned behind those eyes. Do you still believe she thinks of you? He asked. And your person simply smiled, I don't just believe it. I feel it. That was when the light in the room flickered, twice, then went still. It was no coincidence. The angelic presence had stepped in. Archangel Michael's energy was confirming what had just been spoken. Soul connection never dies, it only changes frequency until hearts are ready again. He told his brother that every time he tries to date someone new, he compares them subconsciously, not with your looks, but with your energy. No one feels like home, he said. She did. Type Amen to get blessing 777. And that's when the brother sighed, realizing he was witnessing a love story that refuses to end. He told him, maybe she's waiting for you to prove that you've changed. Your person nodded slowly. I have, he said. But I want her to see it herself. I don't want to convince her, I want to show her through my peace. He started writing something in his notes app after that, lines that looked like unfinished letters, fragments of confessions he never sent. He keeps them all, locked, under your initials. Each word glows faintly on his screen, as if his soul still breathes through every sentence. He confessed that he saw your reflection once, in a stranger's face on a train, and his heart skipped like it recognized you even when logic said no. It's weird, he said, how the universe teases me with pieces of her. His brother replied, maybe the universe is trying to guide you back. That was the moment Archangel Michael touched his heart with remembrance. Type Amen to get blessing 888. Later, after that talk, he went quiet for hours. He sat by the window, staring at the night sky, whispering your name softly as if testing how it still feels. Every syllable carried emotion, guilt, hope, longing, surrender. He imagined you somewhere, doing your thing, maybe not even realizing that someone out there still carries your name in their prayers. But you felt it, haven't you? The random wave of emotion with no reason. The sudden tear, the flash of warmth in your spine. That's him, his soul brushing against yours again. And tonight, heaven will orchestrate something. A sign through music, a message on your phone, or a repeating number that won't stop following you. It's not random, it's divine timing arriving right on schedule. He told his brother, "If I ever get another chance, I won't run this time. I'll fight for her the way I should have back then." Type Amen to get blessing 999. The night after that conversation, your person's brother couldn't sleep. He kept hearing your name echo in his mind like a rhythm he couldn't silence. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw your face. Calm, distant, yet glowing with something the universe refused to let fade. He had promised not to interfere, but the weight of what he heard wouldn't let him rest. The truth was too heavy, the love too pure to stay unspoken. He turned over in bed, opened his phone, and stared at your social media profile that he'd quietly been following for months. He hesitated, his thumb hovering over the message box. His heart pounded like a drum echoing through the quiet of the night. Finally, with trembling hands, he typed a single line, "He still talks about you." He didn't send it immediately. He stared at the screen for 5 minutes, battling his conscience. But then, something strange happened. His lamp flickered once, then glowed brighter. It was as if Archangel Michael himself gave him permission. Type Amen to get blessing 111. So he pressed send. And at that exact moment, miles away, your phone buzzed. You looked down at the message, your breath catching in your throat as the words sank in. You read them again and again, your heart suddenly racing faster than your thoughts. Everything around you slowed. The air grew thicker, your body felt weightless, and your eyes blurred with tears. You knew this wasn't a random message, this was divine timing knocking at your heart's door. You tried to steady yourself, but a memory rose instantly, his voice, his laughter, the way he said your name like it was fragile. You sat there in silence, staring at the phone screen, feeling a storm of old emotions mixing with something new, something inevitable. For a few minutes, you couldn't reply. The connection between heaven and earth was too strong. Even your heartbeat felt like it was keeping rhythm with destiny. Type Amen to get blessing 222. The brother's phone vibrated again. You had replied, just one word, "Why?" And that was enough to reopen the gates. He could feel the energy shift instantly, the night grew warmer, the silence alive with divine electricity. He didn't overthink. He wrote, "Because he's not the same anymore. Because I saw him break when he said your name." Then he hesitated and added one last sentence, "He still prays for you every night." You felt your throat tighten, tears forming at the corners of your eyes. Something inside you whispered, "This isn't coincidence." It was as if heaven had arranged this moment to reopen what had never truly ended. The brother stared at his screen, waiting, watching those 3 blinking dots as you typed back. Then your reply came, "Don't tell him yet. Just tell me what he said." Type Amen to get blessing 333. The brother leaned back, exhaling deeply. He felt the weight of divine responsibility now. "She's still there," he murmured to himself. "She still cares." The realization gave him both peace and urgency. He started typing everything he remembered, every word your person had said, every tremor in his voice, every sigh that carried your name. You read each line slowly, your body trembling as if the words were being whispered into your ear by fate itself. With each sentence, your heart ached more, but not with pain, with recognition. You could feel his energy moving through the letters, his regret, his truth. The room around you blurred as you whispered to yourself, he really never stopped. Outside, thunder rolled softly in the distance, not a warning, but a call. The storm was aligning with heaven's timing. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Archangel Michael says, when souls are tied by purpose, their reconnection becomes inevitable. That night, as the rain began to fall, both your hearts synced again through invisible threads of light. Your person couldn't explain why he suddenly felt restless. He walked outside into the rain, barefoot, letting the cold water touch his skin. He looked up at the clouds, whispering, "What are you trying to tell me?" The brother knew what to do next. He didn't tell your person he'd messaged you. Instead, he quietly guided both timelines toward their meeting point. He began mentioning you more casually, planting seeds in his brother's conversations. You started feeling it too, the sudden urge to visit a certain cafe, the same one where you once saw him. That was no coincidence, heaven was scripting a scene you couldn't resist. Type Amen to get blessing 555. The next morning, you woke up with an unusual calm. The first song that played automatically on your phone was your song. Your breath caught, and you smiled faintly. It had been years since you'd heard it. Meanwhile, your person sat in that same cafe, sipping coffee, unaware that fate was already moving. The brother had, accidentally, suggested meeting there that morning. Every little thing felt orchestrated, the timing, the light, the air. He looked out the window, his eyes lost in thought, when he felt a sudden pull, a familiar energy brushing past his soul. He turned slightly, and for a moment, time paused. You had just walked in. Neither of you spoke. Your eyes met across the room, and everything that was once broken began to rearrange itself silently. Type Amen to get blessing 666. You froze, breath shallow, hands trembling. You hadn't planned this, yet something inside you whispered, this was meant to happen. He stood slowly, unsure if it was real. The world around both of you blurred, only his heartbeat, your heartbeat, and the soft hum of destiny remained. The brother watched from across the street through the cafe window, his lips curving into a quiet smile. He had done what heaven asked of him, and now, it was time for the angels to do the rest. You both stood face to face for the first time in so long. No words, just the truth that filled the space between. Type Amen to get blessing 777. He finally broke the silence. I thought I'd forgotten how to breathe until I saw you again. You felt your chest tighten, the tears you had been holding back finally falling. You haven't changed, you whispered, voice trembling with emotion. He shook his head softly. Oh, I have, but the love hasn't. His eyes glistened, full of everything he had once been afraid to say. There's so much you don't know. You nodded faintly, not trusting your voice. Everything in that cafe felt suspended in another dimension, like heaven was watching in slow motion. Even the background noise faded into a divine hum. Type Amen to get blessing 888. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small piece of paper, folded, old, but neatly kept. I wrote this years ago, he said, placing it on the table between you. I never sent it because I didn't think I deserved to. Your fingers brushed against the paper, and that tiny touch sent a shock through both of you.